Our mission does not work if the people on Earth are dead by the time we pull it off.
Well, we got this far, farther than any human in history.
Oh, not far enough. Make it count.
Where's the mountains?
Those aren't mountains. They're waves.
All right. Welcome to the SquadCast.
Squat it up.
This is Marco. I got my colleague Jill here. And special guest. Say your name, man.
What's up, man? I'm Alexis Lawrence Ovidal, you know, that being real life. But we're here to talk about this great movie called, what, guys?
Interstellar.
And I don't know about great. More like it's another Nolan movie. Just, you know, when you're watching a Nolan movie, what do you usually do? You go in, you're like, Nolan, here's my brain for fucking 3 hours. Do what you will.
Yeah, we definitely had to exercise our mind for this movie.
I didn't exercise enough, man. I just started eating. But yeah, this is my second time watching it, and
this is obviously my third time.
Well, me on the other hand, I've only seen it this first time. And to tell you the truth, I was a little bit mind blown more than these guys, it seems.
I don't think.
I mean, I had the moment that it was pretty slow.
You're in that first timer moment.
Before we continue, do know that we are going to be giving out some spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want any spoilers.
How about you just put pause, go to the end, where we say fuck you, and maybe come back later. Once you watch the movie, obviously. Fuck with all these spoilers. I mean, what are you listening to? A podcast about a movie you haven't seen?
Honestly, well,
you're not playing. You know, I'm joking, though. I'm joking. I love you guys. I want you to come listen to my homies all the time.
I mean, they're looking forward to a review.
That's true.
We're just.
But if you haven't seen it by now, what is it, like third weekend?
Second weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you've seen it 3 fucking times, I would think, you know.
If you haven't seen it the first week, I expect you to see it the second week. Come on, if you broke niggas or like anybody here in Linwood and Compton, you would be there on Sunday for that, $7 or that Tuesday for that $5. So
fuck that Tuesday.
What are you guys doing?
You do not want to go to that Tuesday.
Nope.
If you live around Paramount.
Not just because I'm from Edwards, I'm not shitting on Bianchi, but I'm just saying.
If you're going to stay here for the long run, it's going to be spoilers after spoilers. We just got to admit it from here on. So, I don't know what you guys want to do. Press pause, go watch the movie, come back, then you good. That's up to you.
All right, so let's talk about Interstellar, which is the rich man's Guardians of the Galaxy. With Matthew McConaughey.
It would have been darker if Batman just showed up. I don't know.
Might as well. Alfred's in every goddamn movie.
That's true. I didn't even notice that. You're true.
But yes, apparently it starts off with McConaughey is like an ex pilot for those things, and apparently he crash landed, and he's having nightmares of it, and then he's a scientist, and they live in a world where scientists are no longer needed rather than farmers. To keep the crops alive, because apparently the world is running out of food and resources to live, rather than equipment and technology to further advance for the future.
And so McConaughey is kind of the guy who's stuck in the past, who still wants to continue and be an astronaut, space, whatever.
Yeah, an explorer.
He's basically been on the idea of becoming an explorer and living that life, but he's stuck in the reality where farming is overpopulating and controlling everybody's mind, and that's the main fucking perspective and goal at the moment. So basically, McConaughey is an old guy from back in the day who still believes in the old ways, which is he wanted to go into explore and go into space and all that, and he got tired of living on Earth. Because the thing is, he got kind of to that point, because in this generation, in this time, after his young age, after his wife passed away and all of that, he has 2 kids, but now the government is more focused on farming and creating art.
Because of the Dust Bowl that they're living in.
Well, yeah, that too.
Our potential future, man. All ignorance, like, on the table. You guys believe in the drought? Have you seen it for yourself?
I have not seen it for myself.
I've seen pictures, but Photoshop is extremely, popular.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether I believe that. I gotta see it for myself.
McConaughey and his character, which is Cooper, because the thing is, he ends up exploring and going into space, obviously. That's why it's called Interstellar, whatever. But if he would have realized that, the drought, the Dust Bowl, and all that bullshit would kill him would kill everything after his time, he should have just stayed with his family and enjoy his time with his children. But instead, he goes out into the dark where he starts to doubt his initial reasonings for actually going.
It's because he wanted a future for his children's children and their children's children after that, man. It's classic. With that, if you stop right there would be no movie.
All right, so obviously, guys, we're kind of jumping back and forth, but that's why we told you to watch the fucking movie, because you would understand these conversations a little bit easier.
Yes.
And we wouldn't have to explain every detail, but if we're jumping too hard, I'm sorry.
This podcast is like a Nolan movie. You gotta at least hear it 3-4 times before you
Memento.
understand what we're fucking talking about. We start backwards on this fucking podcast, yo.
Exactly. We're probably not going to get to the beginning till the end, so don't worry about it. Maybe even in the middle. You never know. We could go Quentin Tarantino over here.
Squadmento.
But, all right, let's get into space, which Alexis argues that there isn't much of in this movie.
I do argue that, because the thing is, after watching this movie, I felt there wasn't enough space. And that's kind of a high fucking, that's kind of... I don't know what to say. That's kind of weird to say when especially it's called Interstellar and it's about fucking outer space. But if you want to see...
what do you mean by space?
What I mean by space is I mean outer space. I mean stars, galaxies, worlds, blah, blah, blah. There were a lot of scenes where it was mostly...
I mean, there was more to the movie than just stars and planets.
I get it. But at the same time, I felt there was more need for space.
Yeah,
there was a lot of farming involved if you think about it. There was more worry about fucking the agriculture and fucking corn. A lot of fucking corn.
That was the importance of the movie,
All right, so now we're in space. He's left his family behind, They're flying around up there. They go into, deep sleep for fucking 2 years. Yep, the long nap for 2 years to reach Saturn. And where Saturn is, resides a wormhole into that new galaxy with 12 new inhabitable planets.
On that point, there was actually... He's given the option to go ahead and go through this wormhole. That's why he went to sleep for 2 years.
Yeah.
To go see if those planets actually are worth checking out.
The whole goal of this mission is to find these inhabitable planets to serve purpose to Plan A, which is... Plan A is to pretty much find a planet that can sustain human life so that the people from Earth can get in this giant space shuttle like you see in cartoons and all that shit.
It's like a colony.
And transport them to that planet. And if that doesn't work, if all else fails, there's Plan B, which is basically we got a shitload of semen ready to deploy.
All right. I agree with it. He kind of corrected me on that point. I actually do agree that Dr. Brand is a real nigga. He was a realist. We're actually arguing about this for a second on the way back here from the movie, and he pointed out that he was a realist and everything Dr. Brand was for a reason. He actually knew what the fuck was going to happen. He knew if he didn't make up this huge fucking lie, humanity wouldn't bundle together and it wouldn't continue on. They wouldn't have any hope for a future for their race, for the the human race itself.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's why he's a real nigga. And then Matt Damon's a bitch nigga because he does the complete opposite.
Yes, because you know what? They had a choice. They have enough fuel to visit one planet. They could take a risk and go for the planet that says there's sustainable life, but there's no one on that planet alive to back it up. Whereas Matt Damon's planet, he is alive and also claims there's sustainable life. Mm-hmm. So which one do you choose, Of course, they find Matt Damon in...
Sleeping like a bitch nigga like Cinderella? Oh, wait, that's Snow White, isn't it?
In this
or Sleeping Beauty. I don't know. There are too many fucking princesses
to ice age of a planet.
And then he kind of uses the same excuse that Dr. Brand used at the beginning, the real nigga excuse, saying that this is for human, the human race. This is for fucking the future. This is for all, fucking our species can survive and all this bullshit. But the truth is, he actually lied about everything.
I like how Matthew McConaughey pointed out to him, you're a coward, and he tells him, and Matt Damon's character just repeatedly says yes. He knows. He's a fucking...
Yeah, he knows he fucked up.
Yeah.
I guess he's had a lot of time to himself to realize what he was doing. And he knew the day it actually happened, that it was a cowardly fucking act, I guess. But he's a stupid.
Nah, but that should at least throw up some red lights. You know, this guy's when you arrive at that planet, not only is it cold and looks lifeless, but he's in cryo sleep. Like, what does that tell you? Like, he tells you he didn't even set a date to wake up. Why haven't you started colonizing? Why haven't you, you know, like, why are you so depressed and down and out about everything, you know?
Yeah, that's true. But then again, he did have a, nice way of, lying to these guys. He had a good fucking story to back it up. Like, for example, he ran out of power, and that's why his machine, which was called Kip. Was actually out of function, out of use. He said he was using them for power because that was the only way he could sustain energy there. But that was bullshit.
And then it moves on to Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway trying to go back through the black hole. And they only have enough fuel to use, like, all three ships, and only 2 of them have like a certain amount of fuel which they need. They use that to push Anne Hathaway's ship through the black hole. Matthew McConaughey doesn't tell Anne Hathaway that he's gonna leave his ship behind, and so that's when Matthew McConaughey gets left behind inside the center of the black hole, and he starts to see all these like little particles, and they start coming to his ship, and so he starts lining up, and he can't control the ship anymore, and
he's forced to eject.
Yeah, and that's when he kind of falls into this third dimension, which
represents time.
Right, time and space, to which they believe that the fifth dimensional beings left.
Which are the people that control gravity, supposedly.
Right.
Which is supposedly us.
Yeah. And and I guess gravity was, I guess in Plan A, gravity was actually one of the things they had problems with. They knew if they could figure out the theory based on gravity, they could survive with Plan A.
Man, let's just throw this on the table. When I first saw this movie, I knew pretty much the direction it was going. I felt it ever since the whole ghost thing in the beginning, where apparently Merv has a ghost and like it's telling her stay and it's talking in Morse code. I felt that it's McConaughey from the get-go. Like, I felt like that's where this movie was heading. The only thing was, I'm like, how can Nolan pull it off? How can Nolan do something that I've already seen done before and make it feel new, make it feel fresh, and still surprise me? And damn it, motherfucker always finds a way, man.
5-dimensional beings, that's what the future got your back.
Or maybe he just threw a bunch of shit on the paper that we knew we didn't fucking know the answer to, and he was like, "This is gonna make sense to someone."
Yeah, he's like,
they'll never know.
They're gonna do the proper research.
No one has a great way of pacing movies. I think from Inception. I remember when me and you went to go see that.
That shit was tight.
We were just completely fucking mind blown.
That no matter what, scientists don't fear death, but on the other hand, they fear time because they know they're gonna run out of it. There's a difference. They're not scared of the way they're going to die. It's just that they're scared of the fact that they won't have enough time to do the things they wanted to do.
Oh, man, that is a scary thought.
And that's exactly how Bran, Dr. Bran, which is the older Bran, not the young
see
Bran.
as much as you want to see.
Professor Bran. Yep.
Yeah, it's like he got as far as he got, but he missed this big-ass chunk. And in order to get that big-ass chunk, you had to go in the black hole, which McConaughey is now at in this third-dimensional space that represents time. And in there, he's able to manipulate gravity. Yeah. And in order to send messages
through gravity.
You have Matthew McConaughey, who's in the future, who's still affecting in this, 3-dimensional space of time, is affecting the past, which is where he becomes this ghost for his daughter. He's using gravity as a way to communicate between these two separate times.
And he uses like this codes,
which is Morse code, and then he uses binary code at one point. Lost my point here. Where was it going, guys? I'm gone. What was it? Well, he at one point he was explaining. Damn. Give me a second. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We don't have the time, man.
All right, back on time here. He's trying. At first, initially, he's trying to make the point to his daughter. Hey, I'm here. Make me stay, but instead, once he talks to Tars, he realizes that his true objective is to tell his daughter,
I should use this time to kind of help out the situation rather than just being a coward. Or,
Yeah. Pretty
he
goddamn
saved
squad.
the squad.
Yeah.
Pretty squad.
So Matthew McConaughey ends up saving the human race, and he ends up back in space.
Yep,
Like,
right outside Saturn.
years later.
He's picked up.
Yeah, they just show him end up in a hospital. They don't really.
I don't think
go
it
into
was.
detail.
I don't think it was years later. It was seconds after he got out of the black hole.
Which is
the thing
years later.
Yeah.
It's years later for Nolan's kind of way for his
For
daughter.
the people back on Earth, it's years later, but for
him, it was a couple moments after getting out of the black hole.
like a millisecond.
You saved the fucking human race and you saved yourself in the process.
Don't you think that's kind of
Happy endings.
I'm surprised I understand this fucking movie so much. God damn it, this is the first time.
Fucking happy endings, man. Yeah.
Interstellar? Go see it if you haven't seen it, and if you have the chance, see it in IMAX.
If there's gonna
Definitely see it in IMAX.
if you can afford it, bro. If not, go be that chub at that $5.
not-
Or you can call my cousin Marco.
come find me.
Yes.
Come find me. I'll get you in theater 18.
Just say SquadCast. That's a special word.
I know,
He got
like,
you.
As soon as if I see you outside, you see me, just be like squad. I'm be like, oh, meet me out back.
Accepting blowjobs in return, right, Marco?
Male or female.
No, okay, no.
Hey, we gotta be equally to both fucking sexes. Come on
Yeah.
now. You can't just do that. We love all our, I guess, supposedly fucking listeners, right?
He'll scratch
So
your
do
back,
fans.
you suck his cock. That's how it works.
That's exactly how it works. All right, so this is Marco signing off.
Gio?
And I'm special guest Alexis Lorenzo Vidal being delicious. And that's all, guys. Later.
And this is the end of our SquadCast.
Squad.